It is.
No.
Yeah. They're building like an open air stadium in the convention center parking lot for it.
For the swimming.
No, I think swimming is in Belmont, maybe.
All right, we've started the stream. All right.
Belmont.
All right, here we go. All right, we should be good.
All right,
What's up?
the 118 West Show.
Welcome to
Back
our
after,
TV show podcast, sponsored by Dead Wreck and Printworks, your local screen printing shop. It's me and Jake. We do great work, excellent work. We printed these shirts behind us. We also sell these shirts on 118westshow.com. The link's in our description of the channel or whatever. Everybody's feet are down. All right, good. What up? 118 West Show. A show about surfing, skiing, arguing about a bunch of stuff that doesn't really matter.
No fact checking,
No fact checking live on air.
Although we
or really even ever.
certainly invite our guests to comment.
No,
Thank
we don't.
you.
No, we don't. Keep that shit to yourself.
Thank you, Bren, for setting the record straight.
But hey, how close was I though to the Mammoth's yearly snowfall total?
It's not over. There's more snow.
I know, but I said the average was 360 and it was like 352.
Yeah, I'm gonna owe Jesse a pizza.
coming.
Yeah, again, this storm got downgraded, right? That's coming in this weekend.
Like they all have been.
Yeah.
It's been historically. Did you see them measure the snowfall at Phillips Station?
Yeah, with no snow on the
Yeah.
ground.
It's been a great winter
And-
for surfing, though.
No pond skim this year at Mammoth. Canyon doesn't have enough snow.
But
Dang.
there is going to be a super El Nino, and they're saying it could rival the El Nino of 81-82 and far surpass the 1998 El Nino, possibly the strongest in the books, if things continue to progress with the current trajectory. So that's exciting.
Yeah.
Could mean really good things, or it could mean a lot of rain for the mountains. I don't know.
I mean, it feels like down here, it probably won't translate to a ton of snow.
Well, the El Nino at Big Bear in '98 produced a really insane season. If you look at the historical snowfall, it does mean warmer storms, but it doesn't necessarily mean no snow in the locals.
98 was an epic summer for surf.
The one that
It
Brian
was.
Gray always talked about.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you watch Thump,
But you know what's
the
crazy?
beat of the wedge, '98.
You know what's crazy is 2014 was not a crazy El Nino. Wasn't
Well,
it?
No, I think you can have really good La Nina years as well, depending on where the ridge sets up and like if what squeaks through. But this was certainly not one of them.
Yes,
It was historically bad.
ski season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
the
historically
surfing has been
good.
Sick. It's been
Surf.
excellent. High pressure
Yeah.
all winter, baby.
Well, hopefully,
Not a morning sickness, not a south wind morning in sight.
hopefully the historically good surf season keeps up until my annual surf at Refugio. We'll see.
You should come surfing more often.
I know.
Doesn't Maddie want to surf?
Yeah, but she's yeah, she does. It's just
I'll burn her, dude. I don't care.
it's hard
I'll drop
in the
on her.
summer. It would be a lot easier. It's not particularly easy
Yeah,
during the
you should
school/work week because the 2 days I have off
Of
with her,
course.
she has school, so it'd be like picking her up and taking her to surf. But like those days historically get used to like catch one's breath. So
you should take her surfing in the summer though.
yeah, we I'm hoping
Take her
to-
surfing before school. Drop her off late.
Yeah, I mean,
Tell
I
the teacher
could.
to eat it.
Unfortunately, she's been a habitual truant this year, so I'm trying to like dial things down. She just missed 3 days for Maddie. If you're listening, don't let him keep you down. But yeah, she missed 3 days for Washington.
Schools are so lame about that. It's like, dude, listen, you know that this doesn't like matter to the kid. Like,
Is it just
a
about
kid-
funding for the school?
yeah, it's all about their greedy little funding fingers trying to grab as much money as they can. Because it's like, listen, yeah, it's one thing if a kid is missing school all the time because they have a negligent parent, or if the kid's like ditching. But if the kid's like going on vacation with their family, like do interesting things, Who cares if they miss like a
I don't pay
handful
it
of
any
days?
mind. The letters are somewhat threatening in nature, but I just crumple them up and throw them away. And treat it like a jury summons and move on.
I'll put it as another bullet point on my letter to Gavin.
But yeah, I try to use it sparingly, but I'm never going to let a letter like that impact decisions I have trip-wise.
I mean, I'm guessing it's not Maddie's, a lot of days that she can or can't miss from school that keeps you in the number of vacations you take a year.
No, that would be the sheer cost of said vacations.
Or
Yeah,
just
it's a
coordinating.
double-edged sword too, because it's money that you lose out on by not being at work. So it's the cost of going on vacation and the opportunity cost to make money.
Yeah.
Yep.
That just adds up.
It
Well,
certainly
especially for
does.
you. For me, I get paid vacation, but
I do too, but it's not the same. It's like I think I get like $400 a day,
you miss that sweet commish.
so or $389 a day, or I don't know. But
You've also-
Washington was nice.
I was going to say, tell us about your most recent vacation.
It was good.
Where'd you go?
Flew into Seattle and then instantly, spent the night with one of Kiara's friends and then headed up to Linden, which is, I don't know if you're up to date on your Washington geography, but it's about 20 miles north and a little inland of Bellingham.
If
Okay.
Nick Zentner doesn't talk about it, I don't know about it.
So it's like 4 or 5 miles from the Canadian border.
Yeah.
Stayed there with her grandma for a night, and then drove to the Canadian border, which was pretty humorous because, like, I don't know if have you guys seen those YouTube shows where like the Americans unwittingly drive to the border and they have like guns on them or whatever, and they're like, "Well, you're here now. You're being like processed."
No.
Oh, okay, it's like a border show. Well, I've seen some of those clips. So her grandma wanted to go to. She's like, "I'll take you guys to the border," and I'm like driving. I'm like, "There is a final like stop because I can see the thing up ahead." And she's like, "I think so," and I'm like, "Well, I kind of need to know." I'm like headed into the, and she's like, "I haven't been this way in a while," so I like pulled off to the side, flipped a U-turn, and then she's like, "Let's get on this road." Well, eventually we ended up on a road called Boundary Road. And it's just a little farm road on one side, a teeny ditch, and then Canada. You're just watching Canadians go about their lives like, "Hey, what's up, dude?"
Just grazing in the field.
And I asked and it's not like manned. There's no one around. I'm like, I'm pretty certain I could probably just like run over and run back and I'd be good, but I didn't. And then we went down got some oysters at a place on the Sound and drove through Anacortes and then ended up in, I don't know if you know Highway 2
No,
in
not.
Washington. Okay, it's like on the way to Stevens Pass. We stayed at a Airbnb, did some Stevens Pass shredding. It's pretty sick.
The whole
resort.
did the whole family get out on the slopes?
No, Kiara didn't. Maddie did. I got some
Nice.
good video. She's really getting the hang of the skis.
Heck
Linked
yeah.
up some full runs.
Nice.
And it seemed like decent coverage.
Yes. Yeah. They got a foot like a day or two before. The next day, drove down into Leavenworth through a pretty spirited No Kings protest, and then into like a town called Wenatchee, which is like pretty much central Washington. And then last day in Seattle, flew home. So yeah, it was a pretty cool trip. Oh, and then did a hike to Fire Tower on one of the days. Like
Nice.
a nice little 3-mile hike. And
You
I
see
think
any fires?
no, but you could see one of the most, I think it's considered the most technically difficult peak, at least according to Summit Posts in Washington. I'm drawing blanks.
Shuckson.
No, I don't mean technical, and it's not technically difficult in terms of like glaciers, but in terms of like rock routes on it. It's insane.
Yeah.
I took some photos of it. It's just like this.
Was it the Enchantments? Were you in the Enchantments?
Oh God, it's good. I'll look it up after the show. But
That's a
anyways,
cool mountain range. It's always
Um,
been interesting.
I didn't realize there are some serious mountains in Washington. Not just in like glaciers or size, but just like
Yeah.
Granite.
steepness,
Mountainous
yeah,
terrain.
like granite. I didn't realize how gnarly some of them are. Obviously, they don't have a lot of them don't have the elevation.
But they're significantly further north.
But they're further north. Obviously, the snow line starts way farther down. Yeah, it was pretty sick. Pretty cool terrain. and I would definitely go back to Stevens.
Yeah.
Talk to some disgruntled locals about the Vail acquisition several years back. Apparently,
oh gosh,
they
dude.
sue Steven, or the locals have been suing Vail, and like Vail's kind of like acquiesced a bit compared to some of the other resorts with like what they let them do there because of all the lawsuits. And then made the mistake of complaining about Vail to like a current ski patroller, but it was his day off, and he was a Stevens Pass patroller for like 25 years, and he launched into this like spirited defense. He was like, well, actually, it's been a really good thing for us, and this and that, and like, because it's allowed him to invest or whatever. I was like, yeah, maybe. I was like, but I didn't want to like irritate him, but I wasn't like backing off my
Should
like-
see what tune you're singing 5 years
like-
from now.
company
Yeah.
man, huh? Well, I was like, I think overall though, for most resorts and for just customers, it's a bad thing. And I was like, so I guess agree to disagree.
I don't know if it's a bad thing for resorts.
No, I mean for customers.
Yeah, for customers. I think resorts might be loving the.
But it makes things more expensive. And I was like, and now that everything's on a pass, it's drawn obscene amount of people to like resorts that never would have come before. So I
Yeah.
feel like the guest experience is crappier, and you can't change my mind. But I'm glad it's good for you. But yeah, it's a good trip.
Nice.
Definitely would go back and tour some of the other Washington spots. I guess I've been led to believe Crystal's a lot bigger.
I've never skied Stevens, but Crystal was quite large. A lot of like side country or like slack country access. So like within the resort bounds, like gates that you could like push out and then go to like back bowls.
Okay.
That seemed awesome.
Yeah, Stevens had some of that. A lot of creeks throughout the resort.
Yeah.
Way more than the Sierra, where it's like, oh, we got to be careful. This is like funneling me into like.
What's the Ellie there?
I think base at Stevens is like 42 and peak is 58.
It's crazy how as you get farther north, the Ellie drops a
Yeah.
lot on those resorts. Like Revelstoke
Not that
is
high.
like, I mean, the top is
Higher
7,000,
than that,
right?
but something like that.
But the base is like 2,000.
If you think
Yeah.
about it, they can afford to because of the snow line. But also, when you get north, the mountains just get more treacherous. So even if you did have a mountain that had a mammoth style elevation, the hazards associated with that far north compared to like Mammoth would be extreme.
And just like weather probably too,
Yeah.
right? You're
Isn't Big
constantly-
Sky pretty tall?
No, yeah,
I think so.
I mean, like if you
Yes.
had in like interior
It's like
BC a
12
resort that
no,
served
not 12. 10,000 though.
Yeah, I think Lone Peak is over 10. Might even be like 11.
like if
But I'll say it here. Big Sky is overrated as a resort.
They have a crazy,
my hot take.
Crazy gondola station.
you
Their
have to
gondola
pay per gondola,
sucks.
right?
Yeah, it's not the Lone Peak tram. It's-
But that's kind of cool. I mean, you have to pay for it, but
You have to
only
pay
if you're not a local, right? The locals.
no, it costs to ride it.
I thought the locals got to ride it for free
No, not
as part of
that's
their
not
pass.
my understanding. Oh, maybe
I think it is.
maybe. Anyways, the lines for it are crazy long. You wait for like an hour to take a gondola up, and that was in not great conditions that I did it.
Big Sky has a triple black diamond run on it. Has one of the most challenging
Yeah,
runs in the country.
I would go back and ski there, but it's not like high on my list of places to return to.
You have to sign a waiver to go down it, and they only let like they throttle how many people.
Are you talking about the Lone Peak Couloir?
Is that it?
I don't know. That's like there's a couple runs
Or it might
that,
be the Big Sky Couloir. Might be the
that you have to like
might be
check in with
called.
ski patrol for. You have to like carry a beacon.
yeah.
Have you been to
Um,
Jackson?
Yeah, Jackson is so much sicker than Big Sky, in my opinion.
Big Sky seems like a tough sell too, because it's kind of like remote, right?
It
like
is,
it's like
yeah.
a serious effort. to
Bozeman.
get to. I mean, I guess Jackson's remote unless you fly into Jackson, right?
Yeah,
And that's a small airport for rich people.
yeah.
Um,
I would go to Jackson over Big Sky. I think any day of the week.
I was watching this. I watched this YouTube channel, Rise in Alpine, and the guy went to Mammoth in June, and he spoke pretty highly of both. Spoke
Yeah.
very highly of June. He said June was very cool.
I think we're really blessed though. Like I had a great weather day there, but like people in California take for granted like how good the weather is most of the time, and still how much snow oftentimes in a lot of years the Sierra resorts get. That's
Yeah.
pretty rare. Like normally you're either going to have a lot more sunny days but not a lot of snow, or you're going to have a ton of snow but it's going to come with like
It's because the West is the best, baby.
Or you get the East Coast where you get bad weather and not a lot of snow.
Yeah.
like the
often.
Washington resorts rival easily the Sierras a lot of years in snowfall, sometimes more, sometimes less. And the most ever. But
It's constantly snowing.
it's constantly snowing, and then it's raining on top of the snow, and then it's snowing again, and it's like it's just more miserable
I agree.
weather.
Do you think they're on storm hold a lot too because of that?
I bet
Like-
Upper Mountain stuff
Yeah.
is, or
They
it's just
shut
like
down
limited.
for a lot of avalanche concerns because oftentimes they get rain all the way to the top right after 4 or 5 feet of snow. Stevens got that right before, or like a week before I came, where it snowed 4 feet, and then it rained 3 inches, and then
Yeah.
it snowed another 2 feet. Like, so it's just,
It's hard to beat the California vibes.
I mean, where else are you gonna get 400 annual inches?
420, bro.
360, actually.
Yeah,
Actually, 360.
it's
Now I think
it's hard to beat.
as
Yeah, but
much
California's
as
it's so expensive.
because
Yeah.
it's so awesome.
Although Washington's, don't be fooled, Washington's not that
Yeah.
much cheaper. I mean, it's the same problem as California. Yeah, it gets cheaper when you move out into like the sticks.
Yeah.
But like if you want to live in like a populated part of Washington, it's only slightly less than California.
Yeah.
I was zilling a lot of stuff. Like even the area we were off, Highway 2, which is like pretty remote. There's nowhere, you drive 30 minutes to the nearest like
What'd your lift
Small.
ticket? What'd your lift ticket run?
Stevens
you?
was $1.49.
That's pretty expensive.
Someone was selling a house in this little community we were staying at, and they wanted like $550K for like, I don't know, a 1,600 square foot home on like a
a cabin.
quarter acre lot in kind of the middle of nowhere. Like, I don't know.
What
Yeah.
would that cost you here, though?
I'd think it'd be pretty similar. Like, you can go
In
find
Riverside?
a cabin in Big Bear for 400 or 500K. Sugarloaf, if you want to live at the Tweakers.
People want to be close to the 118
I don't know if you could find
West
a cabin in Big Bear
longitude.
for that much. Maybe Arrowhead.
crest
Oh,
line.
Big Bear's got a ton of stuff under $500,000.
Really?
Mhm.
I don't know about that.
I don't want to make a habit of like making you eat your words, but after the show, if you
Did
want
you
to
look that up recently?
I've been looking at Big Bear real estate randomly, and
Are you
there's
thinking about moving to Big Bear?
no.
Being a Big Bear loke?
Sugarloaf is even cheaper. You can find a lot of old A-frames in Sugarloaf for like 300, 350.
Yeah, I've seen A-frames in like the Arrowhead area that were under $500,000.
I could see it, I guess, in all that area because I feel like there's lots of really nice
Old.
places in Big Bear, but there's also probably a lot of like just old, decrepit, relics from a bygone era.
Like the town Kiara's grandma lives in, not close to any serious. I mean, I guess kind of close to Bellingham, but like it's not pretty far from Seattle. Hour and 10, 15 minutes from Seattle, and most real estate there was between the median price for homes was between about 500 to 800, and plenty of stuff north of $1 million. So
Well, I think the thing is anywhere where there's enough work for people to make money,
yep,
houses are gonna be like appropriately priced. So it's like, yeah, you could go somewhere, you could move to some random super like rural place, and yeah, it's super cheap, but you better be retired and have like retirement funds
Yeah.
because there's not going to be
Any work
meaningful
prospect.
work there for you.
I tell you is quite affordable. Walker.
Nevada? Or California?
Yes.
Yeah. Is that California or
Yes.
Nevada?
Walker, California. Colville.
We stayed in Colville,
Bridgeport.
We did.
Washington.
Bridgeport's pretty reasonable.
Right.
Yeah. Colville? I think so. I think that's what it was.
Places on 395 are actually surprisingly affordable outside of Mammoth.
Bishop's
Right,
gotten
like-
a little pricey, I
yeah.
think.
Yeah, for what you get, right? But it's still
And Lone Pine, I've seen some listings in Lone Pine where it's like, good luck, guys.
But man, living there, you better be okay with living in extreme heat for like
yeah.
4 to 5 months out of the year.
And
No,
it's-
north of June is where it's at, like Bridgeport.
And it's dangerous in Lone Pine. There's
Mono.
Indians.
Yeah, way
Might-
higher up
you might-
there.
Yeah, you want to be high up.
Get an errant arrow or something.
But then you're also just farther away from, like you said, you're probably, either retired or having to work, 100% remote if you're up there.
It would probably never
Which
happen.
is challenging in itself too.
Yeah.
But I could see being very comfortable in retirement living in Bridgeport.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I need to be that close to like things and more people.
Yeah.
Well, though, if that's the case, you could find somewhere even cheaper than Bridgeport. Like
Yeah, but
there's
it's
plenty
about
of-
being.
I was going to say, is that the only factor, though?
No, it's about the scenery and like being.
You want to, like, live somewhere that you hopefully, like, enjoy being at.
Yeah.
Do you know where I've looked at? It's the Oregon coast.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Central Oregon coast.
yeah. We could like sell our place here and buy a place on the Oregon coast outright. Seems pretty tight.
Yeah.
It's just a reminder, and we've had this discussion before. There's actually not that many nice places to live in the U.S. when you really think about it. If you're talking about the country as a whole,
Yeah.
it's limited to a very few states where I think I would be like,
For us.
yes,
Yeah. Because it
I
just
mean,
depends
even then though, like,
depends what you're into.
but for other people too,
I
like,
just mean scenery wise, though. It's not even like as I get older, I'm probably not gonna be. I don't snowboard a lot now.
but not just scenery, also like weather, bugs. Like it is crazy. It's so expensive to live
Weather,
here.
bugs, people.
Yeah, but I mean,
to
like,
not have to worry about hurricanes on a year that cuts out like
yeah.
the whole southeast basically.
And
is
the
like
weather is
hurricane
terrible,
prone.
independent of hurricanes. Do you
Yeah,
want
it's
to
hot
live in
and
muggy
muggy.
awfulness?
The East Coast is hot, muggy, buggy.
But
The Midwest is
don't you think there's plenty of people that live in the Midwest or the East Coast that enjoy living where they live?
Yeah, I mean,
'cause they don't know
ignorance
any
is
better.
bliss.
Yeah, that's right.
But I mean, I'm sure
This
there's
is 118 West. This isn't what like
country
one-
bumpkins in
well,
Kazakhstan that
this
are
isn't
happy.
134.
Yeah, but I don't know if we need all the other people coming here. Like they could just be happy, existing where they exist, and we'll keep the 118 West.
I'm happy for
You
them
know.
to come here.
That is
as
an
long as they don't
interesting
surf.
thing about California is like it is constantly on people's mind that don't live in California. Where it's
Yeah.
like, look,
Yeah.
you do your thing, I'll do mine. Like I'm not hating on some of these. I'm not hating on Oklahoma. If you're happy in Oklahoma, more power to
that's
you.
that's my exact point. Like, there's good things about those states. If you live there and like living there, like maybe you just stay living there. And
I mean, I'm not hating on it.
Life
but I'm
is
not,
good.
I'm
I'll
not moving.
continue
I'm
to
not
f-
saying that it's a good place to live.
I'll continue
Yeah.
to fund your health care and government programs
I
because
think
you
it's a-
guys can't afford to.
Although maybe Appalachia.
I
Maybe
think it's a
like,
good place to live for some people, just not me.
Hmm.
I think some people probably thrive in those zones.
I think it's less than 10 states for me where I could be enjoying
What
myself.
are they? What are they?
Okay. Alaska.
The whole West Coast, right? Alaska,
Washington,
Oregon, California.
Washington, I could do. There's parts of Arizona I could survive.
Oh, Arizona would be rough.
I want to thrive. What about
Come on,
Flagstaff?
if you had to move to
Yeah,
Flagstaff,
yeah.
you'd get by.
Yeah,
'Cause that's one
I
part.
know. It feels like
Okay, but I'm saying there's
What about Parker?
oh,
Sedona. You could live in Sedona.
Sedona would suck. Sedona is such like a. I mean, it's amazing. It's beautiful, but it's so crowded with like tourists.
It's a great place to visit.
Okay.
Yeah, I would not want to live in Sedona. I think it would be a nightmare.
Okay, but I could handle Arizona if forced.
Yeah,
Be better than the Midwest.
So
Yeah.
that's 5.
No, I'm at 4.
No, you're at 5, dude.
Alaska, Washington, Oregon, California, Arizona.
Okay, 5. New Mexico, I could handle.
I
Parts
couldn't.
of.
New Mexico.
Be tough, but for
Yeah.
the right meth blend, you could probably make it work. Colorado.
Oh, Utah is easier for me than Arizona, I think.
After the 2 gentlemen I spoke to at the door today, I don't know. It's a whole nother
Did
story.
they come a knocking?
They came a knocking, and I unfortunately pulled a Grandma Ann and engaged them until they asked me what my interpretation of the prophet was, and then I was like,
You know what's high up
gotta
there of the
bail.
state to get off of this train? High up their state? Maine. I would love to go.
Yeah,
I've
Maine.
never been
I
there.
could do Maine. I could do
But I
New
could do a
Hampshire.
bit.
I could do Vermont. Okay, so more than 10. New Hampshire, Vermont, Maine,
I need to be I want to be
Montana.
coastal.
Montana, White.
Bi-coastal.
Yeah, but probably more the Northeast than the Southeast.
Could you do Montana, Wyoming, Idaho?
Yeah. I think it would be easier for me to live in. I have less of a stringent like.
West Virginia?
No.
Anywhere in the Great Smoky Range? Parts of North Carolina?
I bet I could do parts of North Carolina.
Tennessee?
Eh,
Kentucky?
no.
Michigan or Wisconsin?
No, probably not.
Dude, Michigan.
New York?
Michigan would be cool.
I could do New York.
Are we talking like Catskills?
I think the beauty of New York is that it has a bunch of different, like it has crazy mountain, like nature stuff, like, like
Hawaii?
further up north. Yeah.
Puerto Rico?
I've never been to Puerto Rico. I don't know.
The point is, okay, it's less than 20.
Can you do without power?
It's less than 20, I think, for me. Probably, realistically, 15.
Yeah.
And the rest would be absolute misery.
Yeah, there's a large portion of it that would be miserable. I just wouldn't want to live anywhere without I want coast.
Yeah.
Yeah, coast is nice.
But I guess when it comes down to it too, like it feels like there's a bunch of other states that I could live, but I really don't want to leave California. California is amazing.
It's states that you want to live in.
Coast is nice, and what's interesting about it though is like it's not even about like I want to get in the water. Like if you lived in Washington, you probably wouldn't be in the water a whole lot, but it's just knowing the coast is
I
close.
would be.
Really?
Yeah, dude, I'd love to surf. I would. That is my main thing in life is.
Is Washington known for its surfing?
There's that one big jetty. There's places in there there's places that you could surf.
Ah, that one big jetty that was in 5 Summer Stories, right? Or where?
No, it's like a crazy hard mouth, and there's tons of surf.
I bet
in
there's a
Washington.
hardcore
It's like
local.
It's like Northern California though, where like the problem is too much surf and too much weather. Oftentimes,
I think Northern Cal has way better surf than Washington.
yeah, but I think it's the same. Well, I mean, Washington has tons of surf. That's like not the issue so much there. I don't think.
Stormier than Northern Cal, though.
Yeah, but it's stormier, and oftentimes I think it's too big of surf to be like fun surf.
Yeah, disorganized. I think Oregon has better surf than Washington.
I think Oregon is just one big long beach. To be honest with you, after Google Earthing it, I think it's like seriously 1,000-mile long beach.
1,000?
Is it 1,000 miles? No, it's probably like 600 miles. It's big.
And some good river surfing in Oregon.
Yeah.
Hood River. I went to Hood River one time. I liked it there. I thought it was chill.
Yeah.
If you move to Minnesota, though, there's Lake Superior surfing. If you're really core.
Yeah, Sheboygan.
And you don't have to worry about sharks.
I think there's actually a surprising amount of surf on the Great Lakes, but it's like surfing in Laguna. You just gotta like be so on it to get it good. Yeah.
But the surf can get big.
Yeah, it's like surprisingly
and good.
Yeah, and often too. I think surprisingly often, but
for it to get big, you probably need pretty substantial weather. It feels like you need a lot of things to cooperate.
And it's also winter when the surf happens, so you got to be okay with 29-degree water.
I could also subsidize some of my surfing though with fishing and sailing, and that's why I say Michigan. I could do Michigan because of the Great Lake access, and I think there's beautiful spots on the lake around Michigan with plenty of fishing and sailing.
A freshwater barrel, like a lake barrel. I
it
bet
would
there's.
Taste so weird.
How many people do you think have got like a full stand-up barrel on a lake without a man-made, not like a river, like a lake barrel? I bet.
I think more people have gone lake barreled than river barreled.
Yeah, a river doesn't really make a barrel.
I think people have gone river barreled, but I think it's much less common than lake barreled.
Well, like the stand-up waves on a river don't really barrel per se.
I've seen some of them. I've seen like
maybe the Amazon like tidal bore ones barrel.
No, like some of the ones that are like super
like a slabby,
like high flow, like when they're super high flow.
Oh, okay.
And like when they're like super like gnarly rapid, if they're in a wave where it's like a super crazy rapid, I've seen people get.
There was a guy shredding one of the rivers up there we passed by.
Yeah.
Really?
On us. The rivers up there are insane too. There's just way more water
Yeah.
moving. But yeah, he was shredding.
The fishing up there is pretty good.
Yeah, there's just not as many good places to live as one would think.
It's a unique combination. We have a unique combination here of having access to amazing year-round ocean activities, surfing or otherwise, and still having amazing mountains.
Well,
are close.
also though, beyond that too, good weather, good access to, like, culture. You know,
Yeah.
like, dude, the one thing that you like. Okay, it's not about how many places are that you could live in. It's how many places come close to how nice it is to living here. You know, I feel like it's
Not
like, yeah,
many.
The
you could live other
culture.
places.
I don't think there's anything too great about the culture, but
What do you mean?
Access to culture.
You can go. There's like
How about
what?
just
There's
access
like
to different cultures.
how many different professional sports teams are there within
yeah.
a short drive of here? You can go see any professional sport you want from here.
But that doesn't dictate where, or like that does.
What kind of food,
Good
dude?
food.
The food, dude. Get out of here. The food,
Can you imagine
here?
living in interior Washington? What your food options would be?
Reading, like
Oh,
you know when
Yeah.
you're driving up the 5 and you're like, dude,
But do I
gotta
really
get some
take
food.
advantage of that personally? Like my diet consists of Mexican food. You can find Mexicans almost anywhere.
Not like here. It's not as good as here though.
Okay, if I have to sacrifice burrito quality,
that'd be a huge. That's I think a big reason why.
I think
would-
I think the Mexican food outside of border adjacent areas is so bad that you're practically sacrificing Mexican food as a whole.
really, Washington had great Mexican food, and that's thousands of miles from the Mexican border. I mean, anywhere there's Mexicans, there's decent Mexican food. The reason the East Coast is so bad,
That's not. No, I don't think that's true. There has to be a substantial Mexican population.
but there is in Washington because there's ag.
Because the thing is it's not about the people cooking the food. It's about the people buying it.
Yeah.
If the people buying it have no palate for it and just want bland ass boiled chicken burritos,
White people in Southern California have more of a palate for it. I think there's just a
Yes.
greater percentage of Mexicans, so you have tons of options.
and people want to buy good food, when you go to these other shitty places, dude, people just don't care. They're like, all they want is football and
I mean, I tend to agree. Like, I don't know. I've been to a bunch of areas in like central and eastern Washington, and I think there is good Mexican food in Washington, or in good food in general. But Washington is a populous place in a lot of areas. The moment you start getting away from population centers, the food drops off. I think that's true anywhere you go.
Maggie's off Highway 2 was delicious. I will come back. It's middle of nowhere. Great burrito.
and I mean,
Great taco.
listen, it's not impossible, but it's not like you have it here. It's not
the
like,
exception.
what kind of good bomb Mexican food are we going to go get today?
I guess what I'm more objecting to is like the culture for me, like whatever you even want to call the culture.
Music,
holds
concerts, how many
less and less allure for me. Like, ooh, like the reason LA is so nice is like the culture. It's like I don't like participating in most of that stuff. Like that's not
No, but it's a
like,
big
for me.
plus.
For me, weather, scenery, access to beat, or well, when I go, but like just
Yeah.
the environment is more than like the culture. Like I think, to be honest, the culture in LA is like really played out, and it's like not. I don't like ingratiating myself in most of that stuff, anyways. To be honest,
I would not want to give up. I mean, I think it's not just LA. I think other big population centers have that same draw, but I think it's awesome to have access to be able to go see live music, go to an
Museums.
amazing museum, go to any sort of like amazing food that you want, because it's such a huge area. There's plenty of downsides to that too, right? It's going to be more crowded. It's going to be more expensive. There's going to be more traffic. But
if there's nuclear war, you're vaporized first.
so I might as well lean in, as long as I'm like suffering the bad
Although-
parts of it. I want to lean into the good parts.
If there's a nuclear war, the interior U.S. is going to be hit the hardest because that's where all of our strategic ICBMs are and all of our strategic like nuclear weapons are. So, like the vast majority of the nuclear weapons are going to hit like Colorado, Wyoming area.
Oh, well. Yeah, I don't know. It's just
Another reason that California is amazing.
maybe it's
They'll hit here too. You know what makes me worried about is like North Korea could like shoot a like, right they want to develop a missile to hit us, and then you think like, well, but it probably won't be that accurate. But then you're like, damn, dude, what if they were like trying to hit like the naval fleet in San Diego, but they were just off by 60 miles? It just blasted Orange County. Damn it.
I didn't know this, but I guess with the modern nuclear weapons, everyone talks about fallout. That's not really the danger anymore. The main danger from like modern hydrogen bombs is being within the blast radius of like the way they're constructed. Like the fallout now is far less of a concern as is just being in the blast radius and being shredded. And that could be 50, 60, 70 miles. And it's like, that's the real danger. Not really the fallout like when we were dropping atomic bombs on Japan.
When I was looking at it, they said that it was more like a handful of miles. But
well, they're an order of magnitude of like
know?
50 to 100 times bigger than the bombs.
And if there is one, you should stay inside for 48 hours and seal up your house. That way you can avoid the fallout.
Honestly, if there's a nuclear or a hydrogen bomb dropped on Southern California, I'm not worrying about sealing anything.
Why not? Wouldn't you rather survive?
No, I think it's if there's a hydrogen dropped on Southern California, that means they've been dropped in a variety of other areas, which means we've also fired them back a variety of other areas, and it's pretty much the end of the world as you know it. And no, I don't feel like fighting for scraps in a post-apocalyptic world.
Do you think
like,
there's
what's your other plan to like get burned a lot, like radiation burns all over you to prove a point?
do you think there's a scenario where it's just a casual nuclear bombing and then it peters out?
Yeah, no, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's like carried out by not a non-superpower nuclear power like North Korea or Iran, you know, and like especially if it's like maybe like a dirty bomb, I think that there is a scenario that it doesn't turn into.
That's different though.
Full-on.
I'm talking about a straight hydrogen bomb being dropped by ICBM. If that happens, you have mutually assured destruction, and if that's occurring, my only point is keeping the windows closed.
What if it's North Korea though? Right, like that's not gonna be a mutually assured destruction scenario, probably.
Well, if North Korea strikes the U.S. with nuclear weapons, we strike North Korea, which is right next to China. Like, I could pretty easily see that developing to a full-scale nuclear war.
China doesn't want that smoke.
But I don't think you have to worry about that. I mean, I think the governments have a pretty good tab, or like, there's a reason rogue states haven't really been able to get their hands on and make those sort of bombs over all these years, because like as you can see with current events, like they do everything in their power and oftentimes go way overboard to make sure that doesn't happen. So I'd be surprised if that happened in our lifetime, but never say never.
And I feel like I'm trying, dude. You know, like I'm fucking going for it. Even if it seems bleak, I'm gonna try to survive. I'm not just gonna like.
Yeah, we're still gonna come at you and record this podcast the next week. You know, we'll give you the nuclear update.
The EMP.
We'll close that window across the way, seal it up.
Yeah, we're gonna stay streaming. If it happened right now, I wouldn't be able to go home for 2 days. Lauren knows the drill. Well, but we'll stream.
Yeah, we'll stay live.
Have you guys watched Paradise on Hulu?
No.
It's a good show. It's about like I don't want to. I mean, if you guys haven't watched it now, I guess I'll spoil it for you. But
I'm
it's
probably not.
I don't
gonna
have
watch
it.
it.
Yeah, I don't have
you and Kiara would probably like it. It's really good.
Okay, what is it?
Well, so the spoiler is that it takes place in an underground bunker.
Oh, I've seen that.
It's a really good show. You would like it.
I've seen the previews.
Lizzie would
for
probably
that.
like it. You'd maybe like it, but
yeah.
And there was like a super volcano explosion, and it basically like turned the world dark and cold for 3 or 4 years. But people still a bunch of people still survived.
Do you have access to any bunkers or?
The wealthy billionaire elites did. Surprise, surprise. And then other people just found a way to survive. And it's based on a true story, I think. So I'm going to try to do the same thing when it
Would you
happens.
head to the Sierras maybe and just
Well, not in that scenario, dude, because the Sierras would be even colder.
would you like just hunt and trap?
I've had spent like $1,000 on fishing jigs, and I live near an endless source of. I'm
Oh,
more worried
God.
about water than food.
The fish in the fish in Huntington in that area now are probably radioactive. I can only imagine what they would-
Mackerel for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Mackerel pancakes.
I have a kayak, a little foot-powered kayak, dude. Don't even need gas to go fishing. Have thousands of yards of mono stored away. I'm ready.
I'm sure cooler heads will prevail, or we'll just invade another.
Water supply here would be the tough thing,
Yeah.
but I think I know where I'd go. Cherry Lake. And
Yeah,
if
water.
anybody tried to stop me from going there, I'd burn their house down.
Water would be tough. I'd probably head. The Sierras would be nice though, because I feel like my system could handle lake water.
If it was a Red Dawn type scenario, though, where we were like invaded, the Sierras would be a high up there
Yeah.
thing for me. But getting there, the traffic getting out of like Southern California in that sort of scenario would be really tough, I think.
Would you head to
realistically.
Yosemite? At least it would be.
No, I'd Chris Dorner it and go up to Big Bear.
At least Yosemite would be like idyllic. You could spend your winters in the valley.
You could bike up to Big Bear from here. It'd be like a shitty day, but you could do it in like a long day, right?
Yeah.
How many people in a scenario where like a Red Dawn scenario, like he's talking, do you think would just meet at the valley? And you'd be like, oh, it's way more crowded than I thought.
Dude, there's a practical. I bet there'd be a sleeper cell of immigrants from whatever country Red Dawn does already there. That would be a terrible place to go. I
At the
think.
valley? No.
Yes. There's already too many immigrants.
It's
there.
so funny.
Not
I-
immigrants, sorry,
Whoa.
foreigners.
We looked this up.
Immig-
We looked this up last time. I think it's way less foreigners than you guys
It's like
think.
25%, right?
It's significantly more Californians than anyone else, and then Americans after that.
The nice thing about the Sierra though is like you have pretty good knowledge of it, right? So like
Yeah, but the winter would be long and harsh.
Yeah, you'd have to come down into the foothills, I think.
you could come into the local Paiute reservation and bed
What?
down for the winter.
Why not just stay in the locals though?
Ugh.
You could bike to the locals, Mountain Sea Trail, baby.
It's so funny. I feel like the actual risk, like a much more realistic risk for life here, is much like slower moving things than like a nuclear catastrophe, or, anything like that. I don't know. I don't spend a whole lot of time thinking about
Nuclear
that-
catastrophes.
happening here.
Well, I don't either, because I feel like I strongly believe if there really is a nuclear catastrophe, there won't be a whole lot of time to think. So why think about it on the off chance it actually happens?
It seems like there's other significantly more realistic issues that could happen.
Like the 2028 Olympics coming to town.
Like, do you believe in prepping at all? I don't prep for
No.
anything.
Earthquakes. Yeah, well, first of all, I prep because at the very least I want to be prepared for like some sort of earthquake scenario, which is probably the most
Yeah.
realistic
Do you have
one.
water?
Yeah, I got water, I got stove, I got gas,
But I feel like
I got DVDs and a generator.
Yeah,
and a
if you're,
DVD
like-
player.
into camping or backpacking, you can basically turn that sort of like
Okay,
thing
but
into like a
hold
pretty
on.
like perfunctory.
Even an earthquake. Okay, let's say California gets leveled with a 9. You don't need any of that. Like you're like, and there'll be. There's not. I can't see a natural disaster that's going to put you in a bind where if you didn't have tons of food in your house, you'd starve to death. That's going to befall Southern California. Even a 9 earthquake that kills 20,
Might-
30, 40,000
It
people.
might be days without power and without clean water.
Yeah.
You might be, actually. I mean, you could be weeks without clean water, realistically.
We're not Pakistan. I don't think it'd be weeks without clean water. At least, I mean, maybe in certain areas, but you'd be able to get help or water without. Like, look what happened. Japan had a what was it? A 9.1 and a mega tsunami,
Well,
and people, if you survived the actual event, no one starved to death. No one died of
I imagine.
malnutrition.
I think Japan's probably a lot better prepared and a lot more like capable of a country than
They weren't really prepared for the
Southern California.
tsunami that hit their nuclear reactor, but
Well, you just said that they were. very prepared.
No, I said no. My point was like
Well, not for the nuclear
even
reactor,
a
but
9.1
for
earthquake
their
in Japan,
emergency
no one
response.
starved to death or died for lack of water, as far as I know. So, my point is, I'm not a prepper.
Yeah, I would not classify myself as a prepper at all. I mean, I have like limited supplies, the same stuff that I use to take like camping, but I'm not like stashing like canned good, like storing up canned goods or
I have water and canned supplies like
blue can.
no, just like tuna fish and like just like a light supply of canned goods in case.
Yeah.
Just in case there's like a really bad earthquake.
Honestly,
or,
if there's a bad earthquake, I'd rather not eat for a week than eat a bunch of canned tuna, though.
yeah, right, dude. I've seen you. When you go camping, all you used to eat was apples and smoked trout.
That's not canned tuna. Mercury.
We're talking
man.
about trout, baby.
It's trout, baby. That's the tuna of the Sierra.
I mean, I got more of a like I could hibernate longer than either of you, though, so I get it. Like, but I have like more stores. A week without eating would not.
What about nicotine gum?
That would be a problem. But
It's Celsius.
Then start the looting.
I don't drink any energy drinks. None. I haven't had an energy drink in probably 9 months. Kiara would probably maybe I had one or two, but it's not part of my regimen. But the nicotine would be tough. I would go into hideous withdrawal, but
I've thought about buying a generator
it'd probably be for the best.
because then I would have a DVD player, big screen TV.
I've
Big
often
earthquake hits, dude. I'm posted up. I'm watching Office, eating fucking tuna fish, living large.
What a
baby.
dream.
Yeah.
I've often thought about that with like nicotine and how addictive it is. Do you think I could convince any doctor, like, look, I'm too much of a wuss to quit, but could you, for the
Take
right
it away
price,
from me cold, doc.
just put me in a medically induced coma,
Yes.
so I don't have to like suffer, feed me through a tube, and just wake me up in like 10 to 14 days, where things are like a little better.
No, but have you seen the
Massage my muscles so they don't atrophy.
Have you seen the King of the Hill episode where Hank hires a drug addict and the drug addict turns out to be a terrible worker, but Hank can't fire him because the drug addict goes to like he gets like disability for his addiction. I think you should try to get disability for your nicotine addiction.
Might be able to. People have got disability for less. It's certainly possible.
You think you'd be free and in the clear if you'd made it 14 days?
I think the worst symptoms would subside.
Why
I
don't you
don't
just not do it?
Why does anyone do anything? Why do you... We could say that about your
I'm pretty much sober now.
love of the green.
I'm clean living now.
I haven't smoked weed in 4 months.
No caffeine,
Ingested THC of any kind. I think I'm kind of over it at this
no
point.
sugar.
Wow.
I don't feel any difference though. I don't feel any clearer headed or more motivated or any of that bullshit, dude. I just have more money.
Yeah, 4 months is not a long time, though. Talk to me in 9 years, homie.
I thought you were just saying 14 days we'd be free and in the clear.
Well, that's to rid your body of the toxins from withdrawal, but I'm
I
saying
don't
as far
think
as like stopping a drug meaningfully impact your life, take it for someone that knows, okay?
Well, the big thing is I just don't think that weed like impacted my life that much, like to begin with, you know.
Yeah, you seem just as unmotivated now as you did before, so...
I will say this: I was hoping that being off of like sugar and alcohol and all this stuff, I've now done it since January 1st, and I haven't noticed a difference with how my foot feel. Anything from like
Yeah.
the amount of sugar I consumed beforehand compared to consuming no sugar now, or like no added sugar in anything. I don't
Dude,
notice.
if
a
I were you,
difference.
I would get back on the sugar as soon as you feel like you've proved, as soon as you've done your 6-month joint, because that's no way to live, dude.
I know
Like,
it's
There's no secret sauce. I think that's the lesson in all this, though. It's like, if you like something, just do it. If it's not impacting other people harmfully and it's not ruining your life,
yeah.
like, life's too
well,
short.
I
to
will
worry
say
about.
though one thing, like, so I have this weird rule for alcohol too, where I'm not drinking unless it's a holiday, a work holiday, or if it's a company holiday, or if I'm taking PTO for it, I'm not drinking. And between that, the not drinking and the weed, I do save a lot of money.
Wait, you if it is a
if it's a company holiday or if I'm on PTO,
you
I'm
are drinking. Yeah.
I
I'm
noticed
fucking-
savings.
I'm getting fucked up, dude.
I remember you came over here to screen print one day. It was like it must have been like it was a holiday.
Hell yeah.
Because
He
you
came
were
up-
sloshed.
No, but David came over with like 3 cellies, and just was like putting down the celebrations.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think it was like MLK Day.
Yeah,
I think you save money when you stop drugs and alcohol originally, but eventually you end up
your
Some-
life goes to shit.
no. You end up finding other things to spend money on. Like I don't notice at this point like I do have
like non-alcoholic beers.
exactly. I have more money now than I had when I was a drug addict, but I don't feel like or like I guess maybe it's just been long enough of not spending money on drugs and alcohol that I don't feel like wow, I'm saving money. I just feel like, man, I wish I had more money. Expenses are
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I just dropped $1,400 on Olympic tickets.
Like it's not like that money went straight into savings and then into investments and has been compounding, and now you're like,
No.
it's like no, that money went into nicotine gum and.
But if
Although
they
I
allowed
guess-
me to speak at schools, which they would never do, but if they did, I would tell kids, instead of spending your money on drugs and alcohol, put it in an index fund. We would all be millionaires if you put it
Yes.
in an index fund.
Yes.
If you
Yeah.
put all, or even 3/4 of the money you spent on weed,
but
alcohol, and other substances.
I mean, yeah, that probably goes for
But
anyone.
that's
right?
easy for me to say now though because
but
I
think-
have extra money. Like I mean, I guess I was always finding a way to buy weed and alcohol.
My point is this: it was important at that time in your life enough to scrimp and save every last bit of money you had to buy a bag of weed or to buy beer or other substances, but like had you just saved that money and invested it responsibly, like we'd
But
all
then
be.
what kind of life is that
I agree.
from a young age if you're like,
You're still 25% high. I didn't say all of it. I just like less of it.
yeah, but it's just young people in general. That's not the way that the majority of,
I'd rather be
18,
baked and poor in the
19,
mountains.
20, like they're going to be like,
Some people are.
some
Some
people are,
people
but
are.
there's a reason that most,
They're not
that's
that
not
fun
the
to
like
be around.
trajectory that most people find themselves on.
Yeah, I guess. Well, I mean, it's a sliding scale. I don't think
course.
most people
What I would
found
do
themselves
instead,
on my trajectory.
Of course.
I wish I would. I do agree. I think back, I'm like, dang, dude, I really could have started saving a lot earlier and a lot more. But maybe, actually, if anything, I would have done. Although I'm not bummed about the weed I smoked, dude. I'm glad I did it, at least for now, until I hopefully it doesn't come back to bite me in the ass like some sort of cancer or something. But like all the time that I spent baked in the mountains, dude, that was so fun.
Yeah.
But
Was it being baked in the mountains that was fun though, or was it just the mountains?
being baked in the mountains, dude. I mean, like, listen, I do love being baked, like, and I do kind of miss it, but
I think I sense a relapse tonight.
no, but I'm also like kind of like, and I loved those times and that, and so I think I'm moving, but I think I'm probably passing. I'm not going back, even though it's just a New Year's resolution for this year. It's hard for me to see myself being like, yeah, dude, I'm gonna go back and.
But
Yeah.
in summary, you don't find yourself to be more productive or happier.
No, nope, not more productive, not more clear-headed.
Like you haven't noticed like a huge change.
No,
Yeah.
I got to ask Lauren. I got to be like, Lauren, have you noticed any difference in
Yeah.
it? Where she's like, yeah, dude.
I think if you end up not doing weed for a long time though, and maybe it's different. It's not maybe. It's definitely different with other drugs. I've reached a point in my life where I question sometimes. I'm like, was I really not productive or like doing, like I feel like I was doing just doing just fine most of the time when I was like drinking or doing drugs. I know that's not the case, but like I think when you've taken that long of a break of doing all that stuff, like
It's
in my
just a
head,
break. I'll get it back one day.
well, that's what you got to tell yourself. Yeah. It is. Otherwise, it seems like a life sentence.
Yeah.
But like, I'm sure I wasn't very productive, or I know I wasn't very productive, but it doesn't always seem that way in hindsight.
I will say this though, alcohol. I do notice like now when because I have these like weird rules, I will like drink and like, like basically once a month or whatever. and I'll drink and like, dude, my sleep fucking sucks. Like, I kind of feel shitty the next day. Like, it's noticeable. The alcohol is like
Yeah.
definitely like much more of a noticeable poison.
I think what I'm saying is like there's a part of me that can intellectually appreciate that with currently in my life with what I have going on and where I'm at, I could probably manage some. No, I'm serious. I could probably manage some light drug use like weed or some light drinking and put it together. I think that really was just a season of my life. I'm just not willing to roll the dice and do that. But I don't think.
Well, it's like what's the upside
Correct.
of doing that, you know, compared to the possibility, even no matter how small it is.
But things are working without it, so why do it?
Yeah, and like, could you really see yourself like, I don't know. For me, it's kind of like a money thing, dude. To be honest with you, like, what now? I just don't want to spend the money on it if like I'm over it and I've gone to the point where I don't really miss it.
Yeah.
You know, even though I did, I mean, I had great times, but it's like, well, if I was spending like $60 a month or whatever on it, that's a new surfboard each year.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm kind of like motivated not to go back to it
Yeah.
because of that.
I think out of all the stuff that I've been off, the one that I miss the most, which is probably a testament to how much of a pull it has on me, is sugar. I haven't thought about like, there's been no time of not doing any of these things that I've thought that much about like, oh, I'd like love to like go like have like a beer or, you know, a cup of coffee. But sugar is the one that like
Sugar would be hard
Has
for
a
me
pull.
too, though, because
Coffee
like no
has no
ice
pull?
cream.
coffee. No, I
You've
mean
been
it
off
did.
of caffeine.
Yeah, no caffeine. It did for the first like week. You know,
I would have
How
trouble
bad were the
with.
headaches?
never crazy, but like strong enough to where I'm like, oh man, this sucks. Like, but that only that lasts for me for like a week
Huh.
after not having caffeine, and then it's over.
I could go without caffeine and I did. I went for like a month without caffeine in January.
Caffeine's easy. I like don't really think about it. Alcohol. There's so many like substitutions for alcohol. I feel like, you know, like in the one time that I think about like
Like breathing and
Having a drink.
hyperventilating and then putting your head below.
yeah,
your
just
waist.
screaming really loudly.
huffing gas. Dude. There's so many substitutions.
But just having any sort of like I don't know fizzy drink,
Yeah.
then it doesn't, you know, I don't know. It's not a big
Yeah,
draw.
I find myself looking forward to those non-alcoholic brews just as much as I ever did an old beer.
Yeah, there's good ones.
Yeah, because a lot of times I'm not drinking alcohol to like get like drunk necessarily. I
No.
just want a beer.
It's been so so infrequent that I've recently.
They are
like within
expensive
the last,
though. You're not
they're
saving
not
any money.
any cheaper than.
No, they aren't, and I've been known to polish off 2 or 3 in an evening.
Sugar though is such a simple pleasure.
Yeah,
Like, and it's so. I mean,
it's a powerful drug.
Yeah,
like I
just-
like ice cream. I have dessert every night. You know.
Yeah.
And
Maddie, if you're listening, I'm sorry. I did steal 3 of your airheads before coming here from your Easter basket, but
Dessert it doesn't have as much of a hold on me like the idea of dessert as just like candy though does.
no, I'm more of a.
But
I'm a
I
dessert
think
guy.
I think you could make the argument actually of all the things you've quit since you did the other 2, weed and alcohol in extreme moderation, candy, the type of candy we ingest might be worse than both of those.
For sure.
No, not worse than alcohol.
The amount of forever chemicals that are in the candy we eat is insane.
I guess that's true.
All the known
I think-
carcinogens
I
like
think-
blue 40 Lake, red.
I think you're right at the quantities too, because I was not drinking a bunch of, you know, when I was drinking, how much was I drinking?
yeah.
Very, you know,
I don't know. Alcohol is pretty damaging.
yeah, but I think, who knows?
Yeah. I got to rein in my candy. I was bragging a few times ago that like I never really seek it out, and that's true, but it's been around me so much recently I haven't had to seek it out.
You're a social
finds
candy
you.
And
addict.
it's been finding me, and I have been absolutely. I chipped my tooth on a sweet tart a couple days ago. I can feel
Is
it,
that why you've been whistling when you talk?
but yeah, I gotta chill.
Yeah, it'll be a test. We're gonna, get a couple more poker games in at
I did.
353.
I did feel a little bit bad when we went on your birthday trip, and I was like, all right, I want to get some candy. And like me and the girls went and got like Nerds clusters, a
Did
bunch
you
of
eat
candy.
them aggressively in front of him?
Yeah, we tore into them.
I've been
but-
around it in so many. Well, that's partly the seeds that I've sown. You know, like so many people around me know that I like candy so much. Like we were up at the
Candy addict friends never want you to quit. Come on, Jake,
Yeah,
just have
just
some
have-
candy with
Have a
us.
tart with your friends.
have a Sour Patch watermelon. But yeah, it feels like they're constantly around. So it's an exercise in restraint.
When the year is up, what will you break your fast with?
He's only going for 6 months.
Oh, 6 months.
Yeah, but it'll probably be longer than that because I'm not. The whole point was around surgery. I probably won't have that.
Yeah, but if it's not helping you, you should go back to eating candy and giving yourself the simple pleasure of
Trust
eating
me,
sugar.
when they're doing your surgery, they ask you about your history of drug use. No one asks you about your history of candy usage.
I maybe just try not to eat as much candy, but hey, I say, dude,
Yeah, but
live a good life and have a little bit of extra sugar.
I don't know if I have the relationship with candy that I can be like, I'll just have like a tiny bit, you know? I think it's a pretty like steep
Do you think your relationship with candy is definitely
purely
sexual?
I want to buy that DVD. I went on
Sorry, it's a 5 Summer Stories reference for you.
since our last show, I bought a DVD player and a bunch of surf DVDs. Bought Shelter, Drive Through California, Sprout,
Do you think
I want to buy 5 Summer Stories.
Do you think the older you get, you'll keep moving back in technology? Like, do you think by the time you're
No, I
50, you'll be on VHS?
No, I just want to live in like the 2005s, like
Yeah.
when I peaked.
I will I will say in today's world versus the early 2000s, if it could still be the early 2000s with that level of technology and just vibe, I would trade it in a flash.
iPod, the classic iPod with the wheel clicker. That's all I want for
I don't
music.
think anything has improved that outweighs just the bliss of like the early 2000s.
Things are more convenient now with like smartphones and stuff, but like I realized
A
that
little too convenient.
the convenience isn't worth like everything that comes with it, you know.
And it's obnoxious. I'm so sick of like I'd say it's gotten worse even in the last 5 years. If I have to hear one more person at work tell me, well, AI told me this.
Dude, the last 2 years, facial recognition, everything is facial recognition. Facial, like, scan your face to log into your email
Yeah.
account. It's like, dude,
AI told me that this is what I should be paying for a car. I'm like, well, then you should go buy it from AI. Oh, you can't, right? It's just, I'm sick of people, like, no one's thinking for themselves.
How bad do you think it is for doctors or healthcare?
Yeah, it's out of control. And it's like, I don't know.
physical media is
I
great.
just there's nothing about today's world that like I don't think there's been amazing advances in medical science in that meaningful of way for everyday people from 2005 to now.
I bet you it's going to be better. I would not have wanted to have this injury in 2005.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
I
I
don't
think
think-
I think dentistry has gotten a lot better.
I mean, I think that it's hard.
That's
know.
the one place I agree. I think medical, it has been like I want to keep the medical advances of this time, but like, yeah, dude, I don't need all
People
the
were-
streaming subscription services.
I don't know.
Music
I'm not
wise,
going
at
to
least.
abandon my iPhone, but if I didn't know it existed, I think I would be happier for it. Might be
Yeah.
the best way of putting it. Or like if that technology was never given to me, if social media was never, I was never exposed to the type of social media that existed now, if AI didn't exist, like I honestly think my life would be just as meaningful or more
Yeah.
meaningful.
But it is. I mean, it's interesting to grapple with because we have like a reference point of before that.
Young
going
people
on.
don't.
I know. So like, how do they? How does someone in it feel?
Well, imagine Maddie in 30 years on a podcast talking about like I wish we could go back to the days when AI was
that's
just
my-
something people were just
That's my
arguing
point. Like
about.
the
I wish I never would have gotten this brain chip implant. Gosh, if I could just get rid of this brain chip implant, I think my life would be more meaningful.
Flying cars have been just a total blight on society.
I think cars have gotten a lot better though too.
I think my point is that like
Although they maxed out at like 2013 or so.
it feels like most people probably have like a tendency to like latch on to like
Their formative years.
yeah, or like when the ages that we all were, we're talking like the mid aughts or whatever. So like relatively young, less responsibility in that kind of like sweet spot, and then to say like that was when like
Well,
life was just
I
like
think
right.
I think that is a tendency, but then I also think though that there's been a lot of changes. Like I think subscription models have become super prominent over the last like 10, 15 years, and I think those just suck. You know what I mean? It's not
Yeah.
like, oh, life like it's like I don't know, everything being a subscription now. Just kind of does kind of
I
suck.
also don't
yeah.
like living in a surveillance state.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that too.
I find that deeply concerning, and it's
Yeah.
like, if you live in rural America, it's not as bad. But like, we live in like a
But do you really
surveillance
think
state.
it's? Do you? I mean, like, you have like, if you have a smartphone, it doesn't matter if you're in rural America.
Yeah, but I
right?
mean like the whole like kit and caboodle of it, not just like
dude, if you got the
digi-
vaccine, it doesn't matter.
not just your phone. The fact that like every street corner there's a camera. Everything's just
every
watched.
doorstep, dude. The ring.
Yeah,
cameras.
Ring, everything. Like there's, I would imagine more square footage than not in Southern California is being videotaped. Well, not videotaped, but recorded
Yeah.
at any given time. And it's just odd to me.
Streamed.
Yeah,
It's unsettling.
it's unsettling.
Right.
Even though I'm not up to no good, it's still just, what if I wanted to be? Now I can't? I don't know.
Or what if you are up to no good and they want to take perfectly innocuous behavior and paint it as being up to no good? There is like some sort of evidence now versus like that they could either manipulate or use AI to manufacture. Like it is legitimately
I'm
unsettling
thankful
thing.
I was allowed the privilege of like being able to be bad when I was young without getting caught all the time. Like that feels good. Like I think now I follow the Irvine Police Department's page. They have a mugshot every day of somebody that they've caught, and it's all surveillance based. And it's like I wouldn't have survived that era as a youth. I would have made the Facebook page
But dude,
10 times over. And
you
it's like,
can make
that's wrong.
you can make a conscious effort though to forego some of those modern conveniences to give up some of that feeling. Like you could $100 you can go get yourself a flip phone.
Yeah, I mean that
That's what I did, and I'm a lot happier now. Actually,
that
because
lessens
of
your
it.
digital footprint, but it doesn't change the surveillance state outside of the digital aspect of your life, which is still being surveilled. I mean, you have a computer.
But it also it does somewhat remove you from like some of the other things though that you're talking about, like social media and
That is very
the
true.
news, dude. It really stopped or like slowed down my news consumption.
It's funny you mentioned that because we were having dinner and Mom was saying like, I think the phone has contributed to like my mental well-being, and everyone's like, yeah, totally, and everyone had all these ideas, and then she kept repeating it, and I said, David has a flip phone, and she's like, but I have no choice. Painting is like, I have no choice. This is the only way. I was like, well, that's not entirely true. David has a flip phone. He goes about his life just fine. He texts people, he calls people, but he doesn't scroll. He doesn't check the news.
I don't text people, dude. I'm awful at texting now.
I mean,
but
you send some characters.
I mean, like I'm reachable for my family for the most part, and like I'll occasionally like I communicate with Jake on Slack,
Yeah.
and like I'll text
What a good workaround.
occasionally. Oh, then I have to be at my computer, and so it's like it is a little bit different. But the other thing that I've done too is I've started to get more into like physical media too, to kind of like not rely on digital subscriptions as much anymore.
Except for YouTube. We love YouTube.
YouTube can go fuck itself, dude.
Whoa, dude, we're trying to be monetized here. Sorry. We are sorry. He doesn't mean that.
He did not mean that.
So I bought a box set of The Office, DVDs of The
Nice.
Office, all 9 episodes for $50, brand new from Target.
That's a bargain.
Yeah, what a steal.
Yeah, no. There's definitely ways, but it's kind of like I'm at that phase where it's like I'm happy to complain about I'm happy to complain about it, but I'm not ready to like change the well-worn path I've like established and actually break out of any of those cycles. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel like I'm above the fray to like complain about it and point out all these things, but I'm not ready to like give any of them up.
I had a breaking point when for work I had to do something for like Facebook and Meta, and they required facial recognition, dude, and I just was like, you know what, I hate this, I can't stand this, I don't want to do this, and I ordered on my flip phone on Best Buy. It was ready for pickup by lunch. I went and picked it up, dude, threw my SIM in there,
I bet they hadn't sold one in years.
and that was it. And it
I
was
bet you
sick.
more and more people are.
Is it charged with a micro USB or more of like a
USB-C.
Oh yeah, sorry, micro USB-C.
Yeah. So it's like,
Oh no, just a USB-C, same as like a modern iPhone.
yeah.
Oh damn.
It's
Okay.
a modern phone. It's like new.
So it charges quick. I might get maybe I'll get a candy bar phone like a Nokia. You know what? I'm gonna outdo you. I'm going no color.
KaiOS. No, I mean, I still got Google Maps on mine.
Really?
Yeah, I got the news.
What's it like navigating on Google Maps? That
It's
seems-
so funny, dude. It gives you the step-by-step directions, right? Like go here, but it doesn't update in real time. So like if you mess a turn up, it's like old school, like printing out the directions. Like you have to like, I went to Ridge Park to take a photo of the locals when it was super snowy, and I was like, I wonder what's the fastest way for me to like get back to my house from Ridge Park in a car, you know? And I was like, I don't know. And I tried to use Google Maps, and it was, if I needed to get home to survive, it would have worked, but to find the fastest way home, it was useless.
How's the web browsing if you need to look up like a restaurant or that sort of thing?
No, it doesn't. No.
No web browsing?
No, there's web browsing, but it's not usable at all.
You can't do like a picture of Allen Iverson on the
I could Google Allen Iverson like you did. It's like that. It's that level when
Oh,
you
no.
did that. But I don't need it. And so now more and more too, I'll just like leave my phone up in my bedroom, like just charging. And I'll go hours and hours and hours. So I'll go all day without looking at my phone.
I don't know what that feels like.
It's very freeing.
See, I was late to the game though. Kiara, if you're listening, created a monster because I had flip phones until I met her, and everyone had iPhones for years. And people were like, "What are you doing? Why don't you have an iPhone or a smartphone?" I'm like, "I'm fine." And then she got me to get a Galaxy S5 or whatever, and within 2 months, my bathroom trips were taken, 30 minutes longer, and it's
You
like
gotta keep a book on you, dude.
she created a monster.
I
and it
read
was
a
like,
lot
this is
more.
amazing. I have everything at my fingertips. Like I can watch YouTube while I'm taking a dump. And it's like I never look back. But I wonder how long I would have lasted had I not been like pressured. Because I was totally happy with my flip phone in 2014, and
I remember when
smartphones
I
had
got a
existed for
smartphone.
5 years.
I went on a trip to San Francisco with Jake and his girlfriend at the time, and my girlfriend at the time, and we were staying. We're in the same hotel, and we both ventured out on trips to go. Like, okay, all right. What are you guys up to for the day? Cool. We're gonna go blah blah blah. Do this. We're gonna go to the bridge. And I like remember meeting back up at the end of the day and be like, "What's up, dude? What'd you guys do?" And he's like, "Oh, I went to here, all over the place," because he had an iPhone and he was able to see like the bus schedule and just type into like Google Maps, like I want to go to here, and it'd be like, okay, be at this bus stop in 5 minutes, take this bus to here. And I didn't have that. I think I might have had a BlackBerry, and like effectively didn't have anything. And I tried to go to the Golden Gate Bridge, got lost, and that was it. Like the whole day. And Jake was able to just like do everything from the iPhone. I was like, I gotta get like a smartphone now.
Yeah, I think I was an early convert. That was like 2000.
You had it in
9?
like 2009. Yeah, you had the original, the one that looked like a iPod.
Yeah. I don't think I'll get rid of the iPhone, but I do like the smallest one possible.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
I just got Lauren a brand new iPhone.
just a different.
She doesn't have the same issues that I have. She doesn't have the same.
Have you limited your kids' technology time?
Totally. Yeah.
Nice.
They I let them watch a bunch of TV because I love TV and I don't think that that's that bad for them.
No, it's one of the great
But-
joys in life.
They don't get tablets or phones.
Nice. No tabbies?
Nope.
Maddie's been tabby free for a couple months.
How's it going?
She's adapted well, although
Yeah.
she did ask today, now that lunch's over, can I go back on my tablet? So we're going to try out just a couple hours a week on the weekends only.
When we're
But
traveling,
she seems
sometimes
very happy.
Yeah.
when we're
that.
traveling, sometimes I'll let them play with the tablet, but the only thing that they get to do on it is either watch TV or play the music app on it.
And I realized, why am I letting you use the tablet all this time? I didn't get any of that when I was a kid. If
And I think I
gonna be
turned out
miserable-
just fine.
If I'm going to be miserable or was going to,
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. I think when it's not around, there's plenty of other things that get invented to do. It's just the path of least resistance. And it's like, if it's there, it's going to be omnipresent.
Yeah.
I do park the girls in front of the TV a lot, but
But
whatever, dude.
I'm not willing to give up this guy because I'll tell you, it sure is nice to just watch a documentary while you're taking a dump or, check something. You'd be shocked at the screen time sometimes after a day of work. That thing says it's terrifying. But
What do you think you average?
So you know what I've been doing? I've cut my music subscriptions and I found a thumb drive of MP3s from the Napster days. And it's like 200 gigs of music, but
Yeah.
it's so funny because it's all my music from like 2007 or whenever I was like stealing music online. And it's like
A lot of Bay Area rap.
a lot of Macs. There's like Mac Dre, Mac, Mac Mill, Mac blah, blah, blah. It's 70% rap.
Yeah.
And then the other 30% is like snowboard movie soundtrack
Yeah.
bands.
That's not the worst.
Woods, Jape. I've been listening
Yeah.
to some Jape.
I don't know.
Mike Snow.
It's not good. Some days it could be upwards of 6 hours.
Yeah, most people stop listening. I saw a thing. Most people stop listening to new music when they hit 30.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
New
Uh,
music. Like stop discovering
Yeah.
artists?
Yeah.
That's such a sad statistic.
Yeah. I don't know if I find myself in that category. But I always find myself reverting back to like stuff that makes me feel good, and Jape's good.
Speaking of feel good, have either of you followed along with the Artemis mission?
Yeah, it's been amazing. I watched it live. And I watched the
It's-
flyby, the communications blackout.
You know, it's so funny. Like I feel like normally I've gotten into it, but normally I feel like I'm up on that, and this one like snuck up on me. I had no idea. I knew that it was happening, but I didn't realize that we were sending humans to it. I thought it was just like another like an Artemis mission. We're gonna send like a rocket up, and then in the last like couple of days, I've been like, oh, this is awesome.
You don't think it's all just AI?
It's cool, but I still,
They're on an aggressive timeline,
yeah, they're splashing down in San Diego.
and yeah, on
I still
Friday.
do think, I mean, I'd rather spend money on Artemis than Iran, but I still do grapple with like, is this really? I think two things can be true at the same time. I think it speaks to human beings and Americans and other people from other countries, their incredible ingenuity and spirit to endeavor and find new things and discover things. I think all that's fantastic, but I also think it's a sad representation of our priorities as humans when that amount of money gets invested in stuff and we have all the problems we have right down here on planet Earth.
I think that's a better argument. In my opinion, that's a better argument for so many other avenues that represent way larger chunks of spending for way less loftier loftier
We
goals
spent a lot on space over the last 50 years.
compared to military spending.
Yeah, but we've gotten so much out of it.
They kind of, in a lot of ways, are hand in hand.
That's true. But
True,
we've
but
also got a lot of innovations.
I was gonna
from
say, I think
space.
we reap so many benefits from investing in those
So
missions.
what benefits might we reap from this mission that would help?
It's hard to
everyday
say. It's
people.
hard to say. I think
They might conclude that there are moon bears on the moon. They don't know if they're endemic
No,
to
I'm
the
serious
moon.
though,
think-
because
I-
they always talk about that before a launch. Like,
yeah, I think
all the
it's hard
net-
that stuff like trickles down way after the fact. I think like, I don't know. I'm not a scientist, but I think like there's so much stuff that comes from the research and development and the science that gets put into like that sort of exploration that informs things downstream after the fact.
I do gotta say, I'm pretty mad about the Artemis mission. I feel like,
like
dude,
spending billions on a Mars rover and exploring Mars in an unmanned vehicle. You think that helps everyday humans? That there's a net benefit
I think
compared to
eventually,
investing that.
I think that's
money?
better than the Artemis mission.
I think the Artemis mission is required to go to the Mars. That's like a stepping stone though
I
to
don't
do
think
it.
we need to go to Mars, but I think an unmanned rover to Mars, that's
Yeah.
good. There's probably telecom innovations that were made because of it.
Material
There's probably
science.
yeah,
I think there's so much.
drone
Yeah, I'm for it.
mining
I think we should keep
applications.
doing it.
But doesn't the Artemis thing just seem like kind of like, dude?
No,
I
I'm
just
into
wish
it.
they
I like it.
landed on the moon.
They are. They will in
I know.
2028.
I have some friends that are like vehemently conspiracy theorists that like we did not go to the moon
Uh-huh.
because of and one of their biggest thing is because of like the Van Allen belt, like it's like a radiation that surrounds the planet that supposedly humans are not supposed to be able to get past like physically without like dying and suffering extremely.
I haven't heard it. I don't know this.
Oh, it's like one of the number one arguments about us having actually made it to the moon in the 60s.
Okay. It's like in our atmosphere, like some layer
Why hasn't NASA told everyone about
And it's
this?
not in our atmosphere. It's like out. It's like outside of.
past.
Yeah, it's like way out in like space.
Huh.
But
But
still-
between us and the moon.
Yeah, and like I mean maybe there's like an incredibly thin amount of atmosphere because I think atmosphere goes like
Yeah.
incredibly far, but
But it's like what, charged particles or something that we
yeah,
can't
yeah,
pass through.
yeah,
supposedly.
supposedly.
Tell your friends to tell that to Buzz Aldrin's face.
Put your hand on this Bible and swear that you walked on the moon.
I like Buzz Aldrin, dude. He's a G. Oh, dude, one of my great regrets in life is losing my Buzz Aldrin Nikes.
You know, there's only one living human still alive from those moon missions.
Really?
They interviewed him. He's like in his 80s, and he's extraordinarily, like, still well spoken, with it, in great shape. Probably looks 75. I was like, what a flex that would be. You could literally say with absolute confidence, I'm the only person out of 7 billion people on the planet that's been up there that's here.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. I'm one of 7 bill.
Astronauts really are true American heroes. Like, there's like hardly any scandals with them ever. Like, there's
Yeah.
hardly any, like there's hardly any issues. And like the early ones in the early space program too were like rock stars too, kind of like into fast cars and
Yeah.
pushing the limits of flying and stuff.
I asked AI, what do you think the probability of dying on the Artemis mission was? AI calculate. I don't know if it's true, but what do you think it is?
10%.
Not quite, but you're pretty close.
Do you think it's higher than the
Yeah.
probability of the Apollo missions?
It was not higher.
So the Apollo missions were higher,
Yes.
Riskier.
Yes.
Yeah.
1 in 20.
so 5%.
That's still crazy though to think about. Like, if someone said there was a 5% chance you wouldn't survive something, like that would definitely.
Grab your attention.
That's not nothing.
Yeah.
That means 1 in every 20 times, boom, done.
I wonder if that's based off of like data. You know what I mean? Like historically.
But I mean, that seems plausible to me. Like, it's still pretty even with all the science they have. Shit pop. I mean, look at all the SpaceX rockets they launch where they're like, oh, scrubbed, boom,
Yeah.
done. You can't have
Well-
that happen with a manned.
and space shuttle too.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I don't know if they just took all the missions across all of space and then divide the fatality. Or I don't know how they come up
that's
with
what I
the
was wondering.
probability.
I have a
Yeah.
feeling it probably is.
But that's probably not accurate because I would imagine modern space exploration is safer than 70s, 60s.
I don't think so. I think 90s and 2000s was for the U.S. much more dangerous than 60s and 70s.
Well, there's only the only two fatal accidents I know outside of the 60s and 70s were the Challenger and Columbia, right?
How many happened in the 60s and 70s? Just one, right? The Apollo 1 accident when the
They got
guy
burned in the pod.
burned up in the pod. Yeah.
They didn't have any others,
No, I don't think so.
so they've had 3 total accidents.
Yeah, the Challenger, Discovery.
Those were shuttles.
I know. That's what I'm saying. So I think like the more modern ones, but they were also flying like how many missions a year? Like 3 or 4 missions a year versus.
Well, one was on descent, and the Challenger was on boost, right?
Ascent.
What's the third one that you're talking about?
Just Challenger, Columbia, and Apollo 1,
Okay.
right? But
Yes.
no, more astronauts have died in the original
Maybe
Apollo
Russians.
ones. I'd have to look. I'm pretty certain more did.
No, I don't think so. That was a crazy thing about like the Gemini Mercury and Apollo things is like,
Huh.
because they couldn't afford it. They were so out in the open about their missions compared to like Russia. Russia was like super secretive and would like launch a mission and then tell everybody once it was successful, like, hey, yeah, we got it back,
did it.
everybody. Versus the U.S.
And
is
we
like,
brought
no.
a monkey.
The U.S. is like, we're doing this, and like everything was on like live TV, and they were super careful.
Was
too.
it 13 that barely made it back?
Yeah.
Yeah. 11 was the first one to touch down, right?
13 was the one where they like came back on like one engine and everyone was watching with like bated breath.
They came back in the lunar rover, right?
Yeah.
They had to like jettison like the main deal and then make do in this like super small capsule. I think that was supposed to be for only for 2 people, and they're like, nope, 3 people in. This is our vehicle back. Let's let it ride. And had to like manufacture or like DIY a bunch of like stuff to filter out carbon dioxide and.
Imagine if like years past us living in like hundreds, if not thousands of years, space exploration just becomes like, oh yeah.
Would you go to colonize another planet?
Think about it
No,
though.
I like it here.
Yeah.
But
Same.
I do like that we are.
The obsession with
Revitalize.
colonizing planets like Elon with Mars is absolutely preposterous because if you think about it, like there's no oxygen on Mars. There's no water that they can find. They found evidence of water in the past. What the fuck are you going to do? Imagine you put a bunch of people up there and then it turns out there's been a problem. Like, oh shit, we only have 2 years of oxygen left, but the next oxygen's actually due to explosions or crashes 3 years away. Just have anarchy on another planet.
No, it's got to be another planet in another solar system that's like nice. you
We're
know?
obsessed with finding another habitable place to live, and the closest they found is Mars. And every photo I've seen is absolutely fucking desolate. It's just a desert of red rock with no. It's extremely windy, hot.
Hey, Mars or Mentone?
Mars.
I just like the idea of seeking and exploring. I think that's like valuable in its own right to like see if you can, like push out further
If you were offered a seat on a mission, would you take it?
to Mars.
No, I don't know. On
A space
pol-
mission?
A space mission.
Oh, heck yes.
I'm talking deep space.
Yeah, I think it would be amazing.
What if it was a 10-year mission? You
Oof,
had to give
no.
up 10 years of your
No.
life to do it. 5 years?
No.
1 year?
No. I want a short. I want like the same.
10-day.
Yeah,
Not
Like,
Mars.
just
Then.
like
You
a-
can't go to Mars,
No.
I don't think.
but you could go to space. It would
So
be
you-
so cool to be.
Would you be interested in more of like a Katy Perry style mission?
I'd be interested in somewhere between Mars and Katy Perry.
What if you had to be in the pod with Jeff Bezos?
Oh,
I'd be in a pod
Pass.
with William Shatner.
Yeah, well, dude, Bill is tight.
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, well,
That was a nice pod.
We talked very little about surfing or skiing.
Yeah, sometimes you get some more, entertaining subject matter.
it's a West Coast
Yeah.
We did talk a lot about
We
drugs.
did, yeah. And states that we would want to live in. Turns out California is the place to be.
Listen, dude, it doesn't get too much more West Coast than talking about drugs and bashing other states, right?
No, it doesn't.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in. If you tuned in and are still watching, and if you need screen printing services, Dead Rec and Printworks.